Uganda's anti-homosexuality bill of 2009 would sentence HIV-positive homosexuals to death for having sex and severely punish any homosexual with up to life imprisonment. David Bahati introduced the bill to Parliament and says the legislation promotes strong family values.
The Constitution of Uganda outlaws, prohibits same-sex marriage. The Penal Code Act of this country talks about unnatural behavior. Talks about unnatural behavior. And there are gaps. It falls short of defining what homosexuality is and what penalties should be there. So on that case of the legal angle, there is a need to bridge the gaps within our legal framework to make it very clear.
Uganda's gay community says the legislation will only formalize the persecution of gay and lesbian community. Some Ugandans demonstrated in Kampala recently in support of the bill.
We are saying no to homosexuality.
There is already a law on the books in Uganda that criminalizes homosexuality. It refers to crimes committed against the order of nature. But Rick Rosendahl with the Gay and Lesbian Activists Alliance of Washington, D.C., says the law is archaic.
That's not an African expression. That's right out of the old British Penal Code, which is no longer the case in Britain. It's no longer part of the law in Britain, but it remains the law in many former colonies, including Nigeria and Uganda. And as a result, there is victimization of Africans ongoing because of the legacy of colonialism.
Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has come under pressure from donor countries, including the United States, to drop the proposed law, saying it violates human rights. Museveni says he opposes the death penalty provision in the proposed legislation. Rosendahl says he stands with the gay people in Africa and that they face far greater risks and threats every day.
My own partner is an African whose parents are from Burundi and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And he and other African gay activists that I've seen and gotten to know are among the most courageous people I've ever known.
In a related development, a Malawian judge rejected a bail application by two gay men charged with public indecency after getting engaged to be married. They are believed to be the first gay couple in Malawi to start the marriage process and pleaded not guilty to charges 2 weeks ago. Homosexuality acts carry a maximum prison sentence of 14 years in Malawi. Several African countries have a law that makes homosexuality a crime. South Africa is the only African country that has legalized same-sex marriage.
Now, there are a lot of people in Africa, including rulers of various countries, that say that homosexuality is not indigenous to Africa, that it was imported by colonists from Europe and elsewhere, and that it's un-African. Mr. Mugabe, for example, has said that many times. But in fact, ethnographic studies throughout the continent of Africa have found indigenous forms of homosexuality everywhere on the continent.
The issue has spilled over to the church. African archbishops, especially Nigeria's Peter Akinola, led schism in the Anglican Communion following the election of Ginn Robinson, a gay bishop in the U.S. state of New Hampshire. Churches in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda followed suit, principally by refusing grants from the American Episcopal Church. Here in the U.S., many states have outlawed gay marriage, but others allow it. Around the world, there are many places where gays and lesbians obtain civil unions, but only 7 countries allow gay marriages. Paul Ndiho, VOA News, Washington.